Hi, it's Don Byer from MonsterMortgage.ca, and we're just going to talk today a little bit about mortgages again and the fixed versus variable. I know last week Christian talked a little bit about the strategies that are being used today in the marketplace, but I wanted to give you some actual numbers. As you've seen in the last little while, the 5-year fixed rate has moved up from a low of around 3.5% to this week I think it's around 4.35 is the best 5-year rate. The variable rates haven't moved yet, so they're still at 1.75. So we're still using the strategy of offering the variable rate to clients because there's significant money to be saved. And I want to just point that out to you right now in a little diagram. If we have a customer who has a $250,000 mortgage and the rate is 4.35, and we can change this rate to whatever we want, and you have a client that takes a $250,000 mortgage, today starting at prime minus 50, even though we're hearing rumors now that prime minus 60 might be available, today that rate is 1.75%. But the strategy that we're suggesting to people is that how much can prime increase over the next couple of years? I know Christian talked about 20 quarter-point increases. So the first example I'm going to use has 20 times 0.25% increases. So this moves the prime up from where it is today, which the prime is at 2.25. This moves it up to 7% over the next 5 years. And if we move it up, we now have to say, well, when does it move up? So we're just going to say, for example, it moves up every quarter by a quarter. So that's 4 times per year, and that's 20 times over 5 years. So what happens to this mortgage when that happens? And I've done a little diagram, and I've just got the numbers here, and I can tell you that the one variable you have to keep in mind is that you have to keep your payments the same to make this work. In other words, you got to compare apples to apples, okay? So the payments have to remain the same. It's how they're distributed between principal and interest. Obviously, early on, the variable rate is going to be a very popular choice. But as the quarter points increase, it's going to go higher than the 4.35. So what happens at the end of the 5 years? You might be surprised. The principal balance on the fixed term is about $218,000. The principal balance on the variable rate is $212,000. So there's quite a difference, even when you put in 20 increases times a quarter point. Now we're writing a little article in our next newsletter, which if you want to see, you can hit our site and we'll send you out a copy of our next newsletter that kind of goes through this in a little more detail. But this gives you an idea. I also did one other calculation which you might find interesting, and that is, what if we only did 10 quarter point increases? Because a lot of people don't know how many increases we're going to have. So if you move it back from 20 to 10, obviously, this number remains the same because you're still fixed. But this number moves down to $206,000. So again, that's 10 quarter point increases over the next 3 years, opposed to 20 over 5. So you can see there's another $12,000 of savings by going this route. So the strategy is simple. Variable rate is still the way to go, but you need to increase your payment to what you'd pay if you're going to pay fixed. And that shouldn't be a problem for most people because they were willing to pay $435 to consider the fix anyway. All we're saying is the breakdown needs to remain the same in order for this strategy to work for you. Thanks for tuning in to MonsterMortgage.ca and have a great day.